Hi, everybody. Welcome to week 6 of Anthropology 330, Evolution of People, Technology, and Society for fall 2019. So week 6 is a pretty busy week, so let's dive right into the module overview. So this week, we are going to start talking about how we know what we know about past humans and past hominids. So these are the fields of archaeology and paleoanthropology. Now, of course, this is starting to move into my wheelhouse. I'm an archaeologist myself, so I deal with these issues on the regular, and this is an exciting week for me. So the first learning outcome is we're going to describe the manner in which physical and cultural remains of past humans are investigated. So the difference between physical and cultural remains, the physical remains are the actual bones or fossils of early hominids or past humans. And the cultural remains are the material objects, the tools we make, the clothes we use, the traces that we leave on the landscape from doing things like burning things or moving trees or anything that we do. Those are the cultural remains. So we're going to talk about how we study those, investigate those. Then we're going to look at the reasons why we do that, why archaeologists and paleoanthropologists investigate physical and cultural remains. We're going to talk about the difference between the physical and cultural remains, between fossils and artifacts. And we're going to talk a little bit about this topic called taphonomy. Taphonomy is the process of how a living thing becomes a fossil or how an artifact enters into what we call the archaeological record, and then what happens to these things as time goes on. And then we're going to talk about dating, how these different remains can be dated. So to start out, we're going to, of course, go to the readings. We have a chapter of Larson, a couple chapters of Wilson. And the lectures and links. There's a 8-minute lecture, PowerPoint lecture, and then there's these links. I would encourage you to watch all these links. They're pretty short. It's things like how carbon dating works and thermoluminescence dating works. A little video about stratigraphy, which is the layers that form in a site. And then something about forensic anthropology, about how to learn things from bones. And then after that, of course, there's the inquisitive this week, just one, because there's just one chapter of Larson. And then there is week 6, step 3 of the term paper. So for the last 2 weeks, you should have been conducting your research on your topic proposal that I have already approved. You know what your topic is, and you have your keywords. So now you're ready to put together an outline. So what your outline is going to need is the working title of your paper. That may be the same as the last one you turned in. It might have changed. And then a brief 200 to 250 word introduction to your topic. So I don't want to see just a copy and paste of what you did on your topic proposal. I want to see some development. I want to see how the research that you've done in the last 2 weeks has helped to focus your topic a little bit. So I want to see some changes to that, not just a copy and paste. And then an outline of the body of the paper. So that can be bullet points, that can be a formal outline, that can just be a discussion about, well, first I'm going to talk about this, and then I'm going to talk about that. What I want you to have in the outline is a brief description of what evidence you will use to support or defend your thesis statement. And actually, I need to go back and talk about a thesis statement. So the thesis statement needs to be in your introduction. A thesis statement is a concise, one-sentence summary of what the main conclusion of the paper will be. So the thesis statement may change throughout the term, but I really want to see that. If you want to make that bold or a different color or highlight it or pull it out somehow so that I can see that clearly. What is the main point in one sentence? So then in the outline, you'll say what is the evidence you'll use. And then the final part of the outline is the annotated bibliography. So you should have been working on this as you do your reading. It will be a list of at least 5 peer-reviewed sources, properly formatted in MLA, APA, or Chicago format, with that 3-sentence summary that we've already worked on. And you should be able to just list those there with your short summaries. That is what we call an annotated bibliography. So that is due this Friday. And the next item on the list for this week is, of course, the discussion. So the discussion will be about methods in archaeology, dating, where you'll do a discussion of an object that you have in your own home and talk about how it will change over time. And then, very important, The next thing is the midterm. So this midterm is available from November 2nd, Saturday, up through November 10th. So it's available for all of week 6. However, once you start taking it, once you click to start taking it, that's the only chance you'll get. There are 30 questions in it, so it's meant to be completed in one sitting. You'll have 120 minutes after you start, so 2 hours, and it hopefully will not be too difficult of an exam for you. It's not meant to be a tricky exam. It's just meant to test your knowledge of the concepts. So as always, reach out if you have any questions or concerns this week. If you have any issues with the exam, any issues with the term paper outline, and have a great week.